You're welcome back. Finally, the numbers are finally on the table. The 140 billion naira 2026 budget proposal of the Southeast Development Commission has been endorsed by the Senate with bold promises of infrastructure renewal, industrialization, security reform, and a $200 billion regional economy by 2030. Fifth, but beyond the applause and ambition, critical questions remain. Is this a transformational blueprint or an overstretched vision with funding gaps? Can 140 billion truly capitalize industrial revival in a region battling insecurity, erosion, and infrastructure deficit? Let's analyze the potential of the budget. And to do that, I have Mr. Emmanuel Chime, a public affairs analyst. Mr. Emmanuel, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yes.
Please, my sincere apologies for coming late. That was actually as a result of some root congestions.
Okay.
Sorry about it.
Okay. Apologies accepted. Okay. So let's head straight to this. The SEDC. Finally, we have the numbers. We have the budget. Now, let me just go back. A few weeks ago, the SEDC recently launched a Vision 2050 framework that spans over 25 years. And this is the first budget after that in that regard. So could you say that this budget is starting strong, structured, and in tune with what the Southeast need at this point?
What will determine whether it is in tune with what Southeast rightly need is, the priorities they're going to set out and what they're going to begin to do, with the budget as regards to do with the implementation, okay? But with the pace we have seen so far,
yes,
the director, that is the managing director, which is Mark, he rightly said that was last year. He said he received a total of 5 billion naira into the commission, and he said he deployed over 950 million naira to, he said, advertisement and engagement. And so we began to ask, what exactly for? I mean, if 950 million naira of 5 billion naira is going into advertisement and engagement, I wouldn't know. Is the engagement more of telling the Southeastern stakeholders that we are here? Or what? Because the very day the president rightly announced creation of Southeast Development Commission, everybody is aware of that. Okay, and so there is something we need to know. Okay. Now, when you talk about like a hospital, you build a hospital, no matter the place where it is not that difficult or far from the sick. Okay, when you build a hospital, no matter how remote the place where you build it is, you discover that you don't need to do adverts. People who are sick will look for you. Okay. They will ask questions and people will tell them where they can get you because they need their health back. All right. So if we begin to fix things down here in Southeast, especially as it has to do with the infrastructures and the yearnings of the people, then you discover that things will on its own begin to take natural effect. But for us to begin to advertise, we don't know what we're advertising. That's
okay. All right. So let's listen to Mr. Tony Nwoye. Let's get to listen to what he said during the budget proposal.
It was proud patriotism driven by the unity that people saw at that event. What do I mean? I have a quick example, sir, and I can share that copy with everybody here. There were about 14 known IPOP members in the hall who, prior to that event, what they were saying was no retreat, no surrender. Biafra land, we only want this. The same people have done posts after attending that event for 4 days. And the response is this.
What am I trying to say? I went through your presentation, what you did. I want to appeal to you and your team. Let us dwell a lot on infrastructure. It will not augur well for you to go and spend a lot of money on conferences, investment promotion, $20 million, $15 billion, all those things, some of them are not realistic. I want to say it on record. I'm very close to some of you here. Let us talk of how a man in Bende, a man in Umunachi, Umudioka, a man in Ogo,
That'll be a long listen, but let me just bring to light what he also mentioned there. In his submission, he said that he would want to see primary and secondary school renovation in the next budget. Don't you think that's an overlap? Because we already have this in the concurrent list for the state government and the federal government, as well as local government, overseeing things like this. So why do we need to have it in a Southeast budget?
What happened is that if we are to be visionary in nature, if we are to be visionary with what is on ground, I mean the commission that is being given to us,
yes,
then I think what we should have been talking about now is making Southeast region, the envy of other regions and even other countries of the world. I mean, for instance, if we can map out a 10 to 15 billion naira and begin to build out of the 114 billion naira, to build specialist hospitals that'll be taking care of, some special cases like kidney, heart, brain, lungs, and what have you. And so you discover that perhaps in Enugu, maybe cancer center in Enugu,
okay,
maybe in Anambra we have kidney center in Anambra, special center, okay. Well equipped. Then all this medical tourism that politicians, goes out there to go and have, and including other parts of the continent, then you discover that these guys, they will now have Southeast Nigeria, as the site or the location where they come for such services. And so you discover that it's going to boost our economy. All right. So had it been that we see our people think in that manner or in that direction, and perhaps like I rightly said, that was right here on this television. I rightly said some time ago that we should start thinking about building or constructing regional railways. Southeast region is predominantly traders. We do business. We import goods. So why not we begin to talk about, bringing up the face of our transportation system?
Yeah, that's the reason I asked the first question. If you think that they started strong with the budgets,
we
right?
have governors who are duly funded. They should be taking care of those areas.
But since we have a South, we know, right? We have the government we have the governors of each state, but we're just looking at the Southeast Commission, right? And they're looking forward to doing things for the Southeast. Do you think that this budget started strong, so structured for the benefit of the Southeast? I'm not looking at
first, if for what Mba structured for the year 2026, I mean, Governor Peter Mba rightly mapped out 115 billion for just furniture in Enugu Government House in the year 2026. Then I would say that 140 billion is nothing to write home about for a whole region of 5 states. If 115 billion is meant for ordinary furniture, then I wouldn't know what and what that we're going to use 140 billion to do in Southeast. But I know that if we prioritize, we begin to talk about, it might not be something we'll begin today, we'll launch today and we finish it today. No, we can have long-term plan. We can begin to talk about a public-private partnership and begin to launch out, just like I rightly talked about railway, regional railways.
Yes.
If we begin to talk about that, they will bring in public-private partnership program there. All right, and you see that it's not going to be, the burden is not going to be on the government all alone, but it's going to be on stakeholders that are going to come in there, and invest. Then we build it. We leave the face of Southeast. Southeast is predominantly, that's a commercial hub of Nigeria. And so we should do something in that regards to bring about light. Let our people have, an ecosystem where they do their businesses without hitches. And begin to talk about, let's Papa Seaport be replicated down here in Southeast.
Because 106.74 billion is allocated to capital expenditure. And I'm like, okay, what is the capital expenditure? What is the capital project that you are trying to embark on? Apart from, they have capital project. Other key allocations is community social development. They have the Southeast Venture Capital Fund. And they also have something that is so interesting. There should be the security. Yes, the security, the regional security, which was for 2.5, if I'm not mistaken, but 2.5 billion. So let's talk about that. What can 2.5 billion do? And they have 10 billion for something that has to do with CCTV, drones, and the rest of that. What can 2.5 billion do for a region like this in terms of security? We're not even talking about this for security system, because this is just for security tools, if we put it at that.
Yes.
Because can this actually build a formidable security outfit here in the Southeast? Because I was also looking, we've always been talking about local policing. Can't the Southeast Commission get something like regional security outfits that belongs to them. Since we are battling something like insecurity here, we are battling insecurity here in the Southeast. Get something like that. That is also for the better.
The truth is that when they talked about acquisition of cameras and what have that,
Yes.
CCTV and what have you, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
great
beautiful.
tools.
If they are great tools, of course, modern.
Okay.
All right, drones, modern. That's beautiful. But we have an Enugu governor, Peter Mba, who already have purchased drones. But we're yet to see actually what the drone has recorded. You know, in the past months now that he have launched the drone into the space, we've yet to see that. So we want to see a plan, a clear-cut plan.
You know,
template.
you said
Now,
we are yet to see. Have we also recorded any insecurity challenges?
of course, it has been on a daily.
On a daily?
Yeah, it has been on a daily. Do you know, maybe you don't apply Ugogo Opinsuka as this. If you apply it, then you will discover that before you go, you check your BP. And when you cross over, you check your BP again, and you see that the number is fluctuating. Except if you're not actually aware at all.
What kind of security challenges do we have around
kidnappings.
Around your Pinsoka?
Yes, we are talking about kidnappings into the bulls for ransom, right? Then, if away from that, I think the best way to go about security in every society is about equipping, empowering the youths.
Okay, all right.
Yes, equipping and empowering the youths. It's not about kinetics. No, what actually is the real reason, you know, behind the insecurity in the society? When the youths are being engaged, gainfully engaged, you discover that thinking about criminality will be the least thing that will be in their minds.
Okay.
So why not we begin to talk about how to equip these guys, empower them?
Yeah. Do you know the part of industrialization
That's
that was there?
what we're thinking about here. When we talk
Exactly.
about-
Heavy funding for that.
We need to get that done. We need to link our people with the international community.
Okay.
We need to begin to train our people, you know, with the best practices on tech. We need to start talking about those things. What I see,
Yes.
you know, in our leadership sector here in Nigeria, what I see is that our people, our leaders, tend to talk about road. Every now and then they keep talking about road because these are loudly pronounced projects. But when you talk about human capital development, they don't go there because they believe that it's not well being pronounced. They want to go for something that everybody will hear or see you.
There is
from far
obvious.
wide. And it's easy to sweep off public patrimony through that parliament.
Okay.
We saw that was under the XY, late President Muhammadu Buhari, where, you know, the Minister for Humanitarian whatever, rightly, that's Farouk then, yeah, she rightly said she spent over 5.7 billion naira to train 150 youths on how to repair phones, repairing of phones.
That's a good
billions of naira.
That's a good
good for billions of naira to train people on repairing phones.
On repairing phones,
150 youths to repair phones with 5.7 billion naira.
Something to really investigate. But thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Chime, for coming on the show today. That is it for the Eastern Business Report. Time is no longer a friend, so please bear with us. And After Business Morning returns tomorrow. Many thanks for staying with us. My name is Noma. Anyway, coming up next is Oyafia. Bye for now.